She made her mark performing with her big sisters Barbara and Louise. Then Irlene Mandrell went on to a highly successful career of her own. Her latest project is very close to her heart, a CD tribute of thanks to our nation's military. Take a look.
The youngest sister of the world-famous country trio, the Mandrell sisters, Irlene Mandrell is no stranger to the spotlight. She's won 2 Music City News Comedy Act of the Year awards and as a star on the Country Music Hall of Fame walkway. Through the years, Irlene has also found success as an actress, model, and spokesperson. As much as she loved working with her sisters, now nothing brings Irlene more joy than collaborating with her 3 children. They followed in the family's musical and theatrical footsteps and share their talent on Irlene's solo debut project, Thanks to You. Produced by her husband, Pat Holt, the patriotic project is Irlene and her family's way of saying thank you to our nation's heroes on Thanksgiving and every day.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Irlene Mandrell. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Terry. I have loved you and watched you for years, and
nice.
It's an honor to be here.
You have such a family history of performing for people, bringing joy to people. What was it like to be the youngest member of the Mandrell sisters?
It was always wonderful. It's the best now. I love it. No, it was great because even now, actually, Barbara and Louise have always watched out for me. If they know I'm going to be doing something, they'll make sure, do you have everything you need? We want to go through our closets, and it's always, okay, because our closets are pretty awesome, right?
So how did you get your start? Because Barbara kind of led the troupe with her own beginnings, and then you and Louise came along later. How did that happen for you?
Well, that's true. Barbara was actually performing when she was 12 on the Johnny Cash package show and all of that, playing steel guitar and sax. But when she was a teenager, and we lived in California, my dad started a band because he loved to play. My mom and dad met because she played keyboard in her church, and Daddy, her brother was a preacher at a church, and Daddy's brother was an evangelist. And they played, and they met that way. And so when the music happened, they had the background in music also. So Dad started a band. They needed a bass player, so Mom learned bass. And Barbara played steel and sax and everything. And the drummer became a Navy pilot, which Barbara and Ken. He was a drummer first, but they're married and have been forever. And they went overseas, and Louise and I stayed with our aunt and uncle, but they went and they performed so many places that the USO didn't go into, places that were pretty dangerous, but the men normally didn't get entertainment. But when they came back, and Ken and Barbara got married, and Ken became a Navy pilot, they went to Washington State where he was stationed, and Barbara retired at 18.
Good grief.
Yeah, but Louise said to me, she goes, we got to keep up our instruments if we don't want to get left behind, because she's not sticking with that. And which she didn't. Ken went overseas, and we then moved to Nashville. And she came to Nashville, and Dad took her to the Opry, and she said, I need to be up there. She needed a band. So I became her drummer. Louise became her bass player.
Had you drummed before that?
I did. That's when my uncle was a drummer. I learned a lot from him, staying at my aunt and uncle's house. And I was very young, and Louise was learning bass.
It seems like it was just in you, like in all of you. Like you say, Dad needed a bass player, so my mom learned to play bass.
Well, she had played keyboard, and she actually taught Barbara to read music before she could read that young.
Wow.
So there was that foundation. But I think with Louise and I, it was a matter of, we're going to learn these instruments, because when they start back, which we know they will, Barbara will, we'll be ready.
That's awesome.
And we loved it, and we did a lot of military at the beginning when we started.
Speaking of military, I want to talk about your new release, Thanks to You. This is, and on the back, pictures of your beautiful children, because you're still keeping up that family, the family that plays together, stays together.
I love that. Well, with Barbara and Louise, and we did the show together, and people loved it, said, you guys seem so close. We were always close. We traveled on the road together. You don't just have dinner at night. You wake up on the bus, and you get in the living room, and you share everything. We were so close. Now, I don't get that with my kids. They have other lives going on, other things happening. But when I work in town, I just recently did a TV show that was local, and I had Derek plays drums. I taught him drums. He surpassed me like in a day. But he's incredible, and the girls both are great singers in their own right, but they're singing background, and they're all on the album.
How fun was it to do this project with your children?
Incredible. And they're on a lot of it. I also have my niece, Christy Sutherland. The song that I want to sing for y'all, she wrote. And she's Barbara's daughter-in-law to her oldest son. And she's a great Christian writer, singer, and they love sharing their testimony. And there's just so many in the family. I'll tell you, hopefully come back sometime and share. I'm also writing a book.
I heard that.
And before I get away from the album, this is also for the military we talked about. And we did work on it with songs for about 2 years, picking songs that we loved. Wow. And Reviver Records came in and said, if you finish this project, we'll put it on, we'll put it out. And,
awesome.
And they were great.
And there's a story to the song you're going to sing today. Tell me about that.
There is. And Christy, being an incredible singer, we all love, she's on the album singing some backup for me, but we all love working with her. And Louise had Christy on the road with her. And they were getting ready, and they had the TV on, and the news came on. And it was a soldier at his best friend's funeral with his best friend's family. But his best friend had died saving his life.
Wow.
And Christy said, I've got to write a song about this. And so you'll hear, when you hear the words, it gets to the point, he sings somebody died for me, but it gets to the point of nobody would be surprised that he died saving his life. He was such a great person. He always used to say, somebody died for me, and talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
So she recorded it as a Christian song, and a lot of people have. But when I decided to do a military tribute, I said, I know what song I have to have on the album.
Got to be on there. Well, I want to mention that Irlene Mandrell's CD is called Thanks to You. I'm going to let you release and walk over because we want to hear this song you're talking about and just get a sneak peek at what's on here. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll tell folks where they can get this. It's sold wherever music is sold. Don't forget to be on the lookout. She talked about her new book. It's called God Reigns Miracles, and that's coming out next year. She's a busy lady, and this morning she's busy too, or today. Right now, here's Irlene Mandrell singing Somebody Died for Me.
He was a troubled kid in and out of jail. When his daddy said, this is the last time I'll pay bail, he enlisted in the army, and they sent him to Iraq. He was a different man when he came back. Somebody said the army must have whipped you into shape, but he said, that's not the reason that I've changed. Somebody died for me. Before I even asked for help, he gave his life for me. When I couldn't save myself, I cannot live the way I lived, or be the way I was. Every day is a gift for me, because somebody died for me. Now they fold the flag and attach a silver star, while the grieving mother leans against his arm. Then he stands before the family, and he does his best to tell how he survived the night his best friend fell. He says no one that knew him was surprised he died that way. He tried to live for Jesus, and he always used to say, somebody died for me. Before I even asked for help, he gave his life for me. When I couldn't save myself, I cannot live the way I lived, or be the way I was. Every day is a gift to me, because Somebody died for me. Somebody died for me. Thank you, Jesus.